With these can-do videos, you'll see real-life situations where you have to introduce yourself, talk about your family, or give your contact information. So, by the end, you can do them yourself in Chinese. This video is a small portion of our can-do course. To get the full course, including translations, grammar tools, and assessment tests, click the link in the description. Welcome to Can Do Chinese by ChineseClass101.com.
嗨，大家好，我是李英如。Hi everyone, I'm Yanru Li. In this lesson, you will learn how to ask if a store has something.
This is Sasha Lee. She's at a small grocery store and she wants to buy some salt. She gets the clerk's attention and says, "Hello, is there any salt?"
你好，有盐吗？
Listen to the conversation. Focus on Sasha's question. Ready?
你好，有盐吗？
有，在这里。
Once more with the English translation.
你好，有盐吗？
Hello, is there any salt?
有，在这里。
Yes, it's here. Wondering how you can master these conversations even faster? Here's how. 1. Read along. You get the lesson conversation and translations inside our dialogue tool so that you see each word as you hear it and understand it all. 2. Practice speaking. By shadowing what you hear, you can also record and compare yourself with native speakers with our voice recording tools. And 3. Take our assessment tests and see how much you remember. These tools are part of our Can Do course. Just click the link in the description to get them.
Let's take a closer look at the conversation.
Do you remember how Sasha asks, "Hello, is there any salt?"
你好，有盐吗？
First is
你好，
hello,
你好，你好，
In this case, the speaker uses this greeting to get the clerk's attention. Next is
有，
translating as there is in this case.
有，有，
Translation note
有，
can also translate as to have. After that is
盐，
salt.
盐，盐，
Together
有盐，
literally means there is salt. Last is the question marker
吗？吗？吗？吗？
turns a statement into a yes or no question. Together,
有盐吗？
literally, there is salt, but translates as, is there any salt?
有盐吗？
Translation note. This phrase can also translate as, do you have any salt? Altogether,
你好，有盐吗？
hello, is there any salt?
你好，有盐吗？
Let's take a closer look at the response.
Do you remember how the clerk says, yes, it's here?
有，在这里。
The first part of the response is,
有，
which translates as yes in this context, as it answers the yes or no question containing the verb,
有，有盐吗？
is there any salt?
有，
Yes, there is salt. To answer a yes or no question in Chinese, always echo the verb or adjective that's used in the question. In this case,
有，
after this is,
在这里，
translating as it's here.
在这里，在这里。
This phrase has two parts. First is
在
meaning at. It's used to locate things in this context.
在
Next is
这里，
here.
这里，这里，
Together,
在这里。
literally means at here, but translates as it's here.
在这里。
Note, the subject is omitted as it's understood in the context. Altogether,
有，在这里。
yes, it's here.
有，在这里。
The pattern is
你好，有 item 吗？
hello, is there any item?
你好，有 item 吗？
To use this pattern, simply replace item with something else you're looking for. Imagine you're looking for milk.
牛奶，牛奶，牛奶。
Say, hello, is there any milk? Ready?
你好，有牛奶吗？
Hello, is there any milk?
你好，有牛奶吗？
Besides using 你好, another polite way to get someone's attention and start a question is to use 请问. 请问 literally means please ask, but translates as may I ask or excuse me when asking a question. 请问请问 For example, 请问有盐吗? Excuse me, is there any salt? In most cases, Chinese doesn't make a distinction between singular and plural nouns. You will use the same pattern when you're looking for salt, an apple, or a dozen apples. For example, 有苹果吗 can translate as are there any apples or is there an apple, depending on the context. The English translation may alternate between singular and plural, but the Chinese pattern remains the same.
Let's look at some more examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
你好，有盐吗？你好，有盐吗？
你好，有牛奶吗？你好，有牛奶吗？
你好，有苹果吗？你好，有苹果吗？
你好，有酱油吗？你好，有酱油吗？
你好，有没有糖？你好，有没有糖？ Did you notice how I used a different pattern?
Wondering how you can master these conversations even faster? Here's how. 1. Read along. You get the lesson conversation and translations inside our dialogue tool, so that you see each word as you hear it and understand it all. 2. Practice speaking. By shadowing what you hear, you can also record and compare yourself with native speakers with our voice recording tools. And 3. Take our assessment tests and see how much you remember. These tools are part of our Can-Do course. Just click the link in the description to get them.
你好，有没有糖？
Hello, is there any sugar?
你好，有没有糖？
The speaker uses
有没有？有没有？
means have or not have, or there is or there isn't in this context.
有没有？
First is
有
there is.
有
Next is
没有？
there isn't.
没有
Together,
有没有？
there is or there isn't.
有没有？
Note, for this
有没有？
pattern, you don't need the question marker
吗？
at the end of the question. After that is
糖
sugar.
糖糖。
Altogether,
你好，有没有糖？
literally, hello. Is there or isn't there any sugar? But translates as hello, is there any sugar?
你好，有没有糖？
The pattern is
你好，有没有 item？
hello, is there item? You should be aware of this, but for this lesson you won't need it. Let's review the new words.
牛奶
Milk,
牛奶牛奶。苹果
apple,
苹果苹果。酱油
soy sauce,
酱油酱油。糖
sugar,
糖糖。
Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud, then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say hello? 你好你好 And how to say the question marking particle? 吗吗 Do you remember how to say salt? 盐盐 Do you remember how Sasha Lee asks, "Hello, is there any salt?"
你好，有盐吗？
你好，有盐吗 Do you remember how to say here? 这里这里 Do you remember how the clerk says, "Yes, it's here"?
有，在这里。
有，在这里 Do you remember how to say apple? 苹果苹果 And how to say soy sauce? 酱油酱油 Do you remember how to say sugar? 糖糖
Let's practice. Imagine you're Sasha Lee, and you're at the grocery store. Get the shopkeeper's attention and ask if there is any sugar. Ready?
你好，有糖吗？
有，在这里。
Listen again and repeat.
你好，有糖吗？你好，有糖吗？
Now ask if there is any soy sauce. Ready?
你好，有酱油吗？
有，在这里。
Listen again and repeat.
你好，有酱油吗？你好，有酱油吗？
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Ben Lee. Ask if there are any apples. Ready?
你好，有苹果吗？
有，在这里。
Listen again and repeat.
你好，有苹果吗？你好，有苹果吗？
This is the end of this lesson.
Now, here's what you can do to cement this conversation in your head. Review the conversation with our dialogue tool and lesson transcripts. Study the key words and phrases with our spaced repetition flashcards. Review the key grammar and cultural tips inside the lesson notes. And test yourself with our assessment tests. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to access our Can-Do course.
Now you know how to ask if a store has something in Chinese. That's all there is to it. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.